In today's video, we're checking out two things, this Fender Bassman, as well as whether or not I'm going to have the cops called on me for shooting this video. These things peel the paint off the walls. Let's see how it sounds. Welcome back, folks. This is Shane. You were listening to the Fender 59 Bassman. Let's take a look. Here's the amplifier up close. Now, this packs an absolute punch. It says on the front here, it's a 50-watt rig with four 10-inch Jensen P10R speakers. So you're gonna get a lot of volume out of this thing. These sound best cranked. And what can I tell you? You're gonna hear that in this video, isolated in just a moment. We get the chrome panel on the front. We get four different inputs, two per channel, and you can easily jump across from one to the other to get basically both of the volume stages here, which adds a little bit more gain and saturation. Here's the back of the amplifier up close. This is made in the United States. We get a lacquered tweed finish, as well as a solid finger jointed pine cabinet. So this is a bit of an upgrade compared to a lot of the production model ones. It is a little bit different in that regard. Now we get 6L6 output tubes, 12AX7 preamp tubes, and an original spec 5AR4 rectifier tube, as well as an internal bias pot, so you can experiment around with different output tubes if you so choose to do that. This grill cloth is called Oxblood. I really like this. This is on the front of my Fender Blues Deluxe reissue, which is sort of back behind here. I just think it really sort of sets the mood with this amp. And to get this thing to sound great, you've got to crank it up. There's no shortcuts to great tone with a Fender Bassman. Sure, you can run pedals into it. I guess that's a shortcut, but to get the most out of what makes this iconic, we have to turn it up loud, and it's brutally loud. Firstly, a massive thank you to Sky Music here in Melbourne, Australia, for letting me borrow this amplifier. It packs an absolute punch, so this is going to get loud. It's going to get call the cops kind of loud. If you want to find out more about this amp and you live in Australia, links to Sky Music will be below. I'll leave some Sweetwater and Toman links down there as well, so you can find out about it in your part of the world. But this is one of the most iconic amplifiers of all time. So we're going to try it with a Strat and a Les Paul style electric, this one back here. We're going to see what kind of tones we can get out of it. Here we go. All right, I bet you my neighbors have been looking forward to hearing a Fender Bassman cranked. So anyway, we're going to do it. They've got the noisy dogs. I've got the noisy amps. It all works out even. All right, so let's get into it. In the signal chain, I'm running the Keeley Omni reverb pedal. We're gonna hear this both with and without reverb. I much prefer having a little bit of reverb on my sound, and I know people will wanna hear it dry, so we'll hear a mix of both. I've got the amplifier mic'd up with a Sennheiser E906 and an SM57, and we're gonna start with the volume between 4 and 5 on my Fender American Original Stratocaster on neck and middle pickup. Here we go. And it sounds mighty even with the earplugs in. Hopefully it's recording well. And now without the reverb, here we go. Beautiful. And now the amplifier on halfway, so it's up at 6.5. I'm just going to play some neck pickup stuff now, and we'll see if we can get it to the point where it's going to clip without having to jump the channels just yet. Here we go. It's loud. That is loud. Woo! All right. And now the amplifier on 8.5. This one's got a couple little crackles. I think one of the valves might be a bit funky, but let's push it anyway. Here we go. 8.5, starting with the volume control down. And now the reverb off. Man, oh man, it feels really great, and it's got this really great sort of just natural sustain about it at that kind of volume where the reverb isn't really essential. Before we get over to the humbuckers, let's see how we go with the Stratocaster with the volume on both the bright and normal channel up at 12 o'clock. I'm jumping these channels. Here we go. Man, a little bit of reverb. It is loud. It is so loud. Let's try the bright channel now with some humbuckers thanks to this Tokai Love Rock electric guitar. This is bridge pickup. Now, while the cops are probably going to get called, it's maybe one of the best tones I've heard in this room, but at a volume that's just completely unacceptable for home use. But yeah, as a gigging amp and just the tone, that tone is rock and roll right there, just pushing it over the edge. You know, that's what every overdrive pedal is trying to replicate, that kind of vibe. So yeah, very cool. And now we're going to try the same guitar with a blend of both channels. I'm going to put the normal channel up to 8 and the bright channel up to about 5. Here we go. All right, so that was maybe the loudest amp I've ever had in the house here that I can remember. It feels ridiculously loud. Having 4 speakers and 50 watts and being able to jump the channels like that, what a tone though. It is unreal. It's one of the few sort of amps without a reverb where you don't necessarily need a reverb, but I know a lot of people, including myself, like to know how these kind of amps will work with a reverb going into the front end. Now, Dr. Rick and I had already shot a video of this amp on 10. So if you want to see that, I'll try and find it and link it up in the cards, but what a cool amplifier, man. I can see now why so many people rave about these. If you're, say, playing at a club where you can get away with running this up, man, it just holds onto the notes beautifully. You get just beautiful sustain, and you get all the reaction from playing soft and then playing hard. It sounds great for chords, it sounds great for lead. You can crank it up and get big rock and roll sound. So overall, this thing is an absolute monster. Well, I don't know what else to say other than it's a classic for a reason. I really dig it. If you want to find out more about this, links to Sky Music will be below. If you live overseas, outside of Australia, I'll leave some Sweetwater and Thomann links down there, and you can check it out in your part of the world. If you're looking for a classic, check this thing out, man. It is. But buy some earplugs as well. Get some earplugs when you buy this amp. Definitely, I needed them in. It was so loud. Thanks again. Catch you soon. See ya.